Hi, this is the map from Dora the Explorer, and you're watching a podcast where nostalgia comes alive. It's Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. Roll it! Oh man, I wanted to say roll it too.
Welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, the podcast where nostalgia comes alive. Since July of 2021, Jake and his friends have interviewed professionals in the worlds of acting, directing, writing, puppeteering, and many more. Who will they be chatting with in this week's interview? Find out in this Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode.
Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where nostalgia comes alive. Happy to be with us. Thank you for joining. As always, I'm your host, Jake Deffinbaugh. With me today, as always, our co-hosts, Chris Bixby and Matt Bingel. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing good. Hi, everybody. How are you, Jake?
I'm doing great, Matt. Thank you for asking.
That's
Great.
wonderful.
What do we have today?
Well, today's guest for today, well, she's actually a returning guest. You might know her all over the place from being, a voice actress, and of course we will talk a little bit of that later on that we didn't get to touch base on the very first interview with her, and later on we'll be talking with her about her work as a children's artist that we will touch base on later on, of course, for mentioning her new album that'll be coming out very soon. We gotta go green. Please welcome our returning guest joining back in the show, Debi Derryberry. Happy to have you here, Debbie. Glad to be back on.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jay. Great to be here. And hi, Chris. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
So nice that you guys are having me on again.
Yes, we're very excited to have you back.
It's always very exciting to have you on.
Aw, thanks.
Yes.
A pleasure. Great to have you again to talk about all things. So now, to kick things off, to those who haven't seen the very first, our very first chat with you, could you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yes, of course. I'm going to get my pencil out so I don't forget my questions. I'm Debi Derryberry, voice artist, singer, songwriter. I've been I've been making a living as a voice artist for over 30 years, mostly cartoon voices. I'm most known for Jimmy Neutron's voice, Draculaura from Monster High, one of the aliens from the first Toy Story movie. I'm known for Zatch Bell. I'm on Tenchi Muyo. You can always look on my IMDb. There's a lot. Currently, I have a show on Fox called Grimsburg. A few years ago, I did F is for Family. I had 7 characters on there. So I am staying really busy with voiceover, and I also have a kids YouTube channel called Debi Derryberry Kids, releasing my next kids album. Love to write kids music, and I love to help people in voiceover. I also have written a book called Voiceover 101, and I coach people and try to help people whenever I can.
Nice. It's wonderful. So how does it feel to be back on the podcast?
Oh, it's I feel like it's a big warm hug. Like I did okay the first time. You guys want me back.
Hey,
No, that's
Yes,
great.
I feel the same thing.
that's great.
Yes.
That's great. We feel the same way. So, if you folks did not watch our first podcast, what was your childhood like, and how did you grow up?
I grew up in a little desert town called Indio, which is near, you guys might know something called Coachella. It's right next door. Indio is just a tiny little place. Didn't take much to know everybody in the whole city. And I got my first guitar when I was 9 years old. I've been writing songs, playing guitar, and singing ever since. I was involved in community theater and gymnastics and drama. And being in a small town, you can just dive in and devote your whole self to all of these things and feel like a big fish. So I had, all this confidence growing up. I'm like, oh, I'm a great singer. I'm a good actress. Look, I can get straight A's in my high school that doesn't have very many people in it. I can do great in gymnastics that doesn't have very many people in it. So I loved growing up there. In fact, I'm going there next weekend again to the desert. I still have some friends down there. It was great growing up in a small town in the desert.
Wow, that's wonderful. So before kind of working as a voice actress professionally, do you remember your kind of like first exposure to voiceover animation? Like, did you grow up with like watching animation?
Okay, I have a big brother, so because he always had control of what we called the clicker or the remote control growing up, um, he chose what we watched. So I will tell you what he watched, and that's what I watched: Roadrunner, Batman, Bugs Bunny cartoons, and the like. Um, Grimm's fairy tales, and that was the extent of it. And and we watched The Wizard of Oz twice a year when they aired it, because back then there was no streaming. It's like the newspaper said that's when it's on. That's when you go to this in front of the TV and sit and watch it. Not when you want to, but when it's on. So I thought cartoons just did their own voices. I had no clue that this was like a way to make a living doing cartoon voices. I do know that people were always, I don't want to say teasing because that's sort of a negative connotation, but when they'd be like, "Hi, I'm Debi Derryberry," like, that's what I sound like. Okay, that's what I sound like. But people made a big deal about that I sounded like that. So I'm really glad that through my winding tale and life to get to voiceover, that there was voiceover at the end of the trail for me to make a living doing that. But I can't say I knew a thing about it. I did study drama and I did perform and I did sing, all the things that help with voiceover, learning how to use a microphone, being in front of people, performing with people watching you. All of those are important components of being a voice actor, but it wasn't until I had already graduated UCLA, didn't go to med school, went to Nashville to be a singer, that somebody mentioned, "Why don't you do cartoons?" And it was like, "Oh, why don't I? Alrighty then." So I had somebody give me some names of casting directors here back in LA. Got my little typewriter out. We had typewriters then, no computers, and wrote some letters, sent my cassette tape with my little jingle thing on it. I think I told you all this before. And that was kind of the beginning of it. It was just doors started opening. And I always tell people that I speak with and mentor that when a door opens for you, you really need to run through it. Because,
Oh
right,
yes,
you never know when you're going to get these opportunities, right?
yeah.
So now, I'm kind of curious. What was your first professional voice gig?
Um, Voice gig or animation gig? Because in Nashville, I was hired to sing jingles, and I went there to be a country music singer. But I only got hired, Jake, as a kid's voice. I wasn't hired to sing grown up. I sang as a little kid. Still do, but I that was kind of the beginning of it and how I was able to supplement my income waiting tables until I got a TV show playing a 12-year-old boy dressed up in a clown outfit that I was able to quit waiting tables. But neither of those were doing cartoon voices. One was singing as a kid, one was dressing up in a little clown suit and being a 12-year-old boy clown. And then it wasn't until I got back to Los Angeles that I had a voice agent, and they started bringing me into the office to read voiceover commercials and animation auditions.
Nice. Nice.
Awesome.
So of course, one of your most well-known roles in voiceover was on the Jimmy Neutron franchise, voicing the title character Jimmy. For those who didn't see our first interview with you, could you kind of touch base on like kind of the audition process of getting that role and how that kind of came to be for you?
Yeah. So this was, I think Neutron came out 2020. So we're talking 24 years ago. And back then, we barely had cell phones. We had a pager, and your agent would tell you where to go to do the audition, or you'd
Hmm.
call your agent. And so I went to Bell Sound in Hollywood, and this was not unusual to go to one or two places every day. to do an audition somewhere. So just like all my other auditions, I went there, I looked at the sides or the script, and I had a little sign. They give you a little sign-in sheet where you sign your name and your SAG number and your what time you got there, and everybody's on the list, you know. And I'm looking and I'm saying, oh, Tara Charandoff, Nancy Cartwright, Pam Adlon, E.G. Daly, you know, all of us back then were just kind of starting out. So I thought, my gosh, I don't have those textured voices that those girls do. They have that kind of thing that's kind of raspy, and I don't have raspy. So I did as best as I could with no rasp. And I tell my students and my people whom I mentor that you must select a voice that you can sustain for at least 4 hours, because that's the length of the Screen Actors Guild contract. So that one I could sustain for 4 hours. And when they told me I booked it, I was auditioning for an interstitial, which is, I'm making a picture of a VHS tape. It's a VHS tape. It was these little 10-minute shorts of Jimmy Neutron and the characters, or I should say Johnny Quasar.
Yes.
And
right.
So when they sent me the VHS tapes of these Johnny Quasar interstitials, I played them on my VCR, and I thought, well, these look cute. Look at their different kind of animation I've never seen before, because it was like first CGI out there. And then they said, oh, well, guess what? They're going to do a movie of this. And so my agent worked that out, and you know, I didn't know who all these famous people were, and we went into not one of the main cartoon studios, but one of the main studios here in LA, Hollywood, called LA Sound, West LA Sound, LA Studios. Anyway, that's where we recorded the feature, and then I didn't know much about the business even, and all of a sudden it's nominated for an Oscar. I'm like, wow, how about that? I'm in that movie that's nominated. And nobody was talking about me. They were talking about the movie. They were talking about, you know, who's in it. Martin Short, Ben, who is
Yeah,
it?
something like that. Yeah.
Big famous people. So after that, then they said there's going to be a TV series. I'm down with that. Okay, I'll do the TV series. But it wasn't until, you know, it came out as a TV series and the movie that I realized how big the fan base was. But when you're in it, when you're like in the glut of it all happening, you don't realize what it is that's actually happening. But here we are, 24 years later, and it's what people want to talk about.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy. It's really crazy.
really is. It's crazy, and it still holds up. You know, it still has a huge following today.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping that one day, so far I've been lucky enough to have, not a lot, but I have 4 pop figures. I got a Care Bears, I'm looking up at them. I got a Draculaura, I got a Alien, and I got a Coco Bandicoot. So I'm hoping one of these days Funko will see fit to do a Neutron pop, which would be so
That'd
fun.
be great.
I'm
Right?
sure I could see that, and I could totally
I can
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how Neutron happened, and I don't know why it didn't go more seasons. I know there must have been some internal conflict, but I was sad when it ended, and I always have hope in my heart somewhere that it'll happen again.
Yes, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. For those
I mean,
curious,
look at this. I want to show you one thing. I'm going to just walk over here and get a couple things and show
Sure.
you this. Should have had all my supplies at the beginning, but I wanted to share this with you. That one of the, you knew there was like a petition to bring Jimmy Neutron back kind of thing.
Yeah.
And her name's Brittany, and she sent me this, and she started this a long time ago. This is 2022, but she said it's got 10,194 signatures, and here they are.
Wow.
They're all
Wow.
there, and she sent this fabulous notebook to me. I sent it to Nickelodeon. I'm like, look, look. I'm hoping that Brittany's efforts will, um, show some results.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely hopeful for that.
Hopefully, for those curious as to what a VHS looked like, I just grabbed one over here. This is what a VHS tape looks like. This isn't a Jimmy Neutron tape, but it's close enough. So for you younger viewers,
Yes.
I feel like a VHS collector video, front, side, back.
And it's like a cassette, and you shove it into a machine, and it's actual tape in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not like digital coded. It's a tape.
Yeah, and
Digital,
it's not like a DVD where you can, go to the menu or, skip through different chapters. You actually have to rewind and fast forward to get to your.
As
And we used to have
as
these,
Blockbuster always said, "Be kind,
Be
rewind."
kind, rewind. Yeah, they had a
Yes.
sticker on it.
Classic saying.
Yeah, this one doesn't have it, but yeah, this. If I was curious, if you're listening on audio, the tape I brought out was a Timmy the Tooth tape, which featured previous guest Kevin Carlson and quite a couple others on this
Kevin,
tape.
yes. Love Kevin.
So that's what a VHS
Yes.
tape is for you younger viewers. You do learn stuff on this show.
This is the
So-
this year is the 20th reunion of a movie I was part of called Comic Book the Movie with Mark Hamill, Jess Harnell, and Roger Rose, and we filmed it at San Diego Comic-Con, and it came out on a VHS as well.
Oh, nice.
So long
that's
ago.
cool.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
That is very cool. So you've also done a lot of voices for various children's projects as well, including voicing Tad in the Leapfrog video series.
Yeah.
What was working
Yes.
on that like?
Well, that was back in the day when we still went into studios with everybody to record it. And it was fun to be able to sing all those fun songs. And we learned it all here at the Talking Words Factory. That was a hoot. I just thought the songs were very clever, and I love being part of educational shows that draw kids in and teach them something. Don't just show them, people beating each other on the head and spaceships running off. And not that Neutron wasn't great, Neutron was smart too. But I think we kind of have a responsibility of making something worthwhile in our kids' viewing library. I know
Right.
you probably don't have kids yet, but when you do, if you do, if you have brothers or sisters or nieces or nephews, it's important to give them something worthwhile that they can enjoy, and it's challenging because, as you know, kids, if they don't like something, they're like, turn it off, I'm out of here.
Yeah, they'll let you know.
I'll let you know.
Exactly.
They'll definitely let you know. In case you haven't seen the Leapfrog videos, the reference that Debbie was making as a Tad's voice were from the Talking Words Factory video, which I actually used to own as a kid. I remember watching that very well.
Gosh, people remember that. I have this TikTok channel, and it does surprisingly well. I think I have like over 1.2 million followers, and this last video is now at 2.7 million views. But
Wow.
the comments that come
Wow.
in, I know, right? You guys have to go follow me on TikTok. But the comments that come in, if I don't mention Tad, or there's so many fans that remember Tad from so long ago.
I know.
It's amazing.
So now, of course, to those who haven't seen Vapors review, you're also the voice of Clay, which is the host of Playhouse Disney for a few years. What is it like
Yes.
voicing him for 7 years?
I have to go get another toy. I'm just going to stand up here a
Yeah.
minute and come right back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stand on my chair. Let's hope that I don't roll away and fall down. Here I go. Going up on the chair. Oh, okay, here I go. All right. Believe it or not, the Kyoto brothers, the wonderful claymation guys who did clay, made several clays, and they actually gave me a clay.
There he is.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
clay, I think I showed it to you last time,
Yes,
but
you did.
this is 20 years old and it's still gushy. I have it
Yep.
wrapped in plastic. Isn't that funny? I
Yeah.
have a clay. It's true.
That's great. Love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Clay was great. Lisa O'Brien, my producer.
Oh,
in that.
I love
Lisa!
Lisa.
Lisa,
We
yes.
previously interviewed her on the podcast.
Yes, just
She's a
She's just
blessing. I love
she's
her.
just the best. I love Lisa so much.
Yeah, I think her boy is about your guys' age, I think. And Marion Blankoff also was a producer on that. Oh, such a fun thing. Yeah, let's bring Clay back too. Now that
Yes.
we're talking about it, you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that'd be great.
Yeah,
Yes.
right? Playhouse Disney or whatever Disney has for their preschoolers, whatever they're calling it this flavor of the month. I think we need Clay. Come on, Disney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's bring Clay back.
Disney Junior. Is that still called that?
Yeah, it's still
Is it
called
Disney
that.
Junior
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still called that.
They're always changing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, bring Clay back.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. So, you also got to voice, as we talked about earlier, Draculaura in the Monster High franchise,
Yes.
which is, of course, one of your other most well-known voiceover roles. What's voicing her like?
That one was super easy for me because I don't have a problem with this accent I gave her, which was sort of Transylvanian Russian accent. And then I pitched her very high, so they wanted her to talk very fast. So talking fast in this Transylvanian accent and having a lot of energy was not hard for me. And that's what they liked, and that's what they booked. And yeah, I'm the OG, the original Draculaura. Nickelodeon has another Monster High series out with a different cast, but let's just say I'm the original.
So, now speaking, we're talking about TikTok. You also have a big social media following, including TikTok, where you share behind the scenes stories about voiceover and all those things. What's doing that like?
I will tell you what, it's a lot of work to have videos always ready to go and to try and respond to everybody. It's a full-time job. Sometimes I like to take breaks from social media, but I try to stay current on my Insta Reels and the TikTok. I kind of save my Facebook like for personal stuff, my dogs and my family, but it's good fun, and it's kind of a little boost to my ego to see how many people follow me on TikTok and who are like interested in me telling them how I did Zatch Bell's voice or Jimmy's voice, or finding what's viral these days and following it. I have a really good team who helps me do it, because trying to do that by myself, in addition to all the auditions and the coachings and the general life, there's just not enough hours in the day. As you know, when people see this podcast or this show, they just see the finished product. They don't see all the work that you guys put into it, from finding who to interview, what questions to ask, how to edit it. When it's a final viewing, it's like people are like, "Oh, do another one tomorrow." It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of work.
It's a lot more work than you the viewers
And
think
of course,
of.
when it comes to
Seriously.
having guests on, of course, there's sometimes there's scheduling conflicts.
Exactly. Yes.
And it's this is 4 people's schedules that we have to juggle. In fact, in as soon as this is over, I pop right into a rehearsal, and then I go have dinner with the director. It's always something. It's insanely busy, and one TikTok maybe takes me at least an hour to film it, to edit it, to tag it, and to time the post. These things are time consuming. And then you figure out that you still have to go grocery shopping and do your workout and walk your dogs, make dinner and vacuum the floor, and everything else that goes with life.
Yes, definitely.
And I don't want people to think that, I think it's a kind of a misnomer. People think, oh, voice artists, it's glamorous. What's it like? It's like royalty glamour. And I'm like, no, it is hard work. I sit here, I'm pointing to my sound booth. I'm in there like all day auditioning or, working or making connections. It's a full-time job.
Oh yes.
Absolutely. So you had brought this up earlier. You also released your own video and book series called Voiceover 101, which teaches many different aspects, there it is, of voice acting. How did that kind of come about for you?
This is the second edition. Well, people started asking me to coach their kids back when they lived next door, and I said okay. And one thing led to another, and then everybody's kids wanted to study, and then the grown-ups wanted to study. And I'm like, I just don't have enough time in my day for all these people that want to study voiceover. So I wrote the first book, and then pre-COVID into COVID, I realized there were so many changes. So I updated the book and did the second edition, and it has these little. I'm in the process of doing a audio book of it, and I'm looking in here to find these QR codes. But I have these videos that people can click on in the book, because I can write how to bark like a dog or how to cry like a baby, but you really need to see somebody doing that. So that's why there's videos associated with the book, and it's on Amazon. And mostly it was, have all these 30 years of information to share with people. Well, 25 years when I started the first book. But you figured, I thought I might as well put it down in a book and put it on Amazon. That way, if somebody wants to get into voiceover, and the Q&As that come up, how do I get into voiceover? It's not an easy answer. So I just tell people to go read my book. Then they'll know everything that I know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
So
yes, you
this,
want to know more about what's the work, how you get more into it. Just get the book. Just get the book. It's gonna be in the description down below. So
Yeah.
you all can
Yeah.
just
On
go.
Amazon. Yes.
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 Absolutely. So, kind of moving on from voiceover, this is kind of more of a deep cut question, but you also got to work on the film Free Willy as a stunt double.
Yes.
Yes.
I was. I'm getting something else for you.
Okay.
I'm a scuba diver, and they were. I found out that the boy's manager, Jason's manager, was looking for someone to body double him, and they needed a person who was the size of a 12-year-old boy, and they needed someone who was a scuba diver. So those are kind of weird things to put together, but I met with Warner Brothers when I found out, and they were like, yes. And they took me down to Mexico, where I got hair sewn on me that would hold up in the water.
Oh, wow.
And I'm the one that was on the whale. Like, Jason was a kid then, so he wasn't allowed to be on the whale, or he wasn't a scuba diver. And even there was another stunt woman that they called in to do one of the other tricks, which is to run on the deck, trip, fall, hit her head, and fall in the water. And then I would take over from there. But she was afraid of the whale, so she wouldn't lie still. Like, she was unconscious. She was like wiggling. They were like, Debbie, try that trick too. So that's what they call stunts, tricks. So all the riding of the whale, where he gets rescued from underneath, it's all me with boy's hair. And at that time, I was recording a show with Howie Mandel called Bobby's World. So
Yes.
I was flying back and forth to LA from Mexico City. But I do want to mention, had this job been offered to me today, I would not take it. I don't believe in whales in captivity, of mammals of any kind, animals in captivity. I don't think it's right, and I don't want it to ever happen again. I wasn't aware of that issue at the time. So it was a really fun job. In fact, I'm having lunch with James Richter on Monday. I'll tell him that we talked about it on this show.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, that was a super fun, interesting, weird job to have. Who knew? I've had a number of big jobs as a 12-year-old boy, like that show with Jim Varney, Hey Vern, It's Ernest, that was in Nashville. That got me my SAG card and got me away from waiting tables. And then Free Willy, that I played a 12-year-old boy riding a whale, and the movie did really well. And then there was the the Duracell battery Putterman commercials. I don't know if you guys ever looked at those, but quick, Google the Puttermans and Puttermans, and I played the little boy in that. 5 hours of makeup.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
I just looked it up. I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing this on YouTube. That's cool.
yeah,
Thank you.
Huh.
so 5 hours of makeup in that, but little boy costume, and that was like a 3 year huge commercial campaign. So yeah, I do a lot of on camera as a boy. Not so much on camera anymore.
Right.
Things take their turns, and
Yeah.
but that was really fun doing Free Willy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard it's such a wonderful movie.
Yeah, it is a wonderful movie. You should definitely check it out, Jake.
Yes, I know. One day, me and Bob will watching it. So,
Yeah.
so definitely have a lot of fun.
So Matt,
with that.
you guys, when you do watch it, there's a scene where the boy runs around the pool deck. He trips and falls and hits his head, falls in, goes unconscious, sinks to the bottom. Then the whale comes and picks him up and brings him to the surface. And that whole section is me. And if you pause it, you'll notice that his body isn't a little boy body. His body goes like this. It's a little woman's body.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yes, it definitely check it out. Of course, myself.
You should.
So now, in addition to lending your voice as a voice actress, you're also a children's musical artist. What made you want to get into that?
I've always, as I told you, sang songs and enjoyed singing to kids. And I decided that I had all these songs. I might as well make a kids album. So my first album was like, again, 20 years ago. It was called What a Way to Play. And it's got a whole bunch of fun kids songs. And I had a song on there called Baby Banana that went to
Yes.
number one on the charts.
Love that song.
And so I wrote a second CD called Debi Derryberry, and all these songs were still doing really well, and I had a great time making the CD. So I made a third album called Baby Banana, and I wrote lots of songs having to do just with Baby Banana. And it's been a minute, probably 14 years. But I've been accumulating more songs and being more involved. I'm not performing live kids songs anymore. With those first CDs, I was like touring the country, like at all the Barnes and Nobles with my guitar. I had a whole show. I was playing for little kids. It was great. But I had to, it wasn't something that I was doing necessarily for a living. It was more like for fun, and it was great. But it never, unless you have a TV show, like a Dan Zanes or a Laurie Berkner or the Wiggles, that's
Lori Wiggles, yeah.
That's where you can really see the profits from it. So it's been a while, but my kid is now grown. I've been writing these songs that have more to do with eco-consciousness, with carbon footprint and electric cars and recycling. So this new album is called Gotta Go Green.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it just won the NAPA Award, the National Parenting Product Award.
Oh, cool. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it got endorsed by a wonderful actor named Ed Begley Jr. I know it's probably backwards there for you, but if you Google Ed Begley
No, it's
Jr.,
not.
you'll see a million things that he's done for the environment. And then I started the Debi Derryberry Kids YouTube channel that I can put all these wonderful music videos that I've made to match the songs. And I'm hoping that this CD will make an impact with our kids and teach them tangible things they can do to make a smaller carbon footprint, or to recycle, or to not drive gas-powered cars as much. And there's a song about the cycle of life, and a little bit about the orangutan and their plight, and going green and what's that mean. So it's all kind of climate changey.
Nice.
And that's
great.
hopefully, while I'm here on your show, And March 6th, I don't know when this show comes out, but on March 6th, this drops. You can go to all your favorite streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, Pandora, whatever it is. It's there. And you can also download it from my website, debiderryberry.com. You can download all the songs or the album from there.
That's awesome.
And if you own Ford or Tesla or any big company that needs an advertisement for electric cars or recycling, you can use my music.
So since you just mentioned Baby Banana, there was also a book that accompanied the CD. Can you kind of talk a bit
Yes.
about that?
It's available on Amazon. It's just a little offshoot of the characters in for Baby Banana. It's a daddy gorilla and a mama duck, and the baby banana, and they go off to the licorice tree to find Baby Banana's favorite food. And Baby Banana and Mama Duck can fly, but Daddy can't fly, so they build him a harness. And there's always the questions people ask, like, why that family? And I'm like, why not? It's diverse, right? You can marry and be with anyone you want.
Exactly.
And a talking banana, yeah, so what? A talking mouse, oh yeah. A transformer, somebody that can change shape, yeah, all those real things. This is in the same vein. It's all our imagination and good fun, and it's wholesome and fabulous. And again, it's available to download on all the streaming platforms.
Wonderful.
So
Absolutely.
that's what the book is, by the way. You can get it
Right.
on Amazon.
Right. Yes. So, as you had mentioned earlier, throughout your children's music career, you've also performed a number of your songs across the country. What were some of your fondest memories doing that?
You know, the Barnes and Noble stores used to have these little stages where you'd go in and you'd do a little concert for the kids, and
That's right. Yeah.
they'd have 30 or 40 kids there, and singing for the kids and have them actually know the lyrics to my songs and sing along. I was like, it was mind blowing, you guys. When people know the words to a song I wrote, I'm like, what? That was probably the very coolest thing. I never played for any huge, enormous venues. Um, well, that's not true. I played for a couple that were like 3,000 people, but mostly smaller venues where I could really interact with the kids. And so these days, since I'm not going to be touring and performing live, I have this little character called Little Debbie, and she is on my YouTube Debi Derryberry Kids channel, and she is taking the place of me performing. So everyone can please, 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 I would love it if you would subscribe to Debi Derryberry Kids.
Yes, absolutely
Watch the
subscribe.
videos.
Yeah,
Thank
so be description
you.
down below so y'all can subscribe
Aw.
and
And play it
everything.
for all the kids in your life, or maybe you're just a big kid. The videos will all be up as of March 6th. One other little funny thing that's on the channel are two things, actually. I used to have a pig. She's passed away. Her name was Mimi. And I have these little tiny videos of me giving Mimi a bath, me feeding Mimi an orange. Those are fun short videos that are there. And in addition, I have a kid, my son is 23, and every year I would sing him this song called The First Day of School or The Last Day of School. And I'd wake him up obnoxious and loud. I'd turn on the light and play him this song, and he'd wake up and go, oh! It's very embarrassing and really obnoxious. They're all there.
Aw.
I see Jake laughing. So you guys hopefully enjoy that, as well as the animated music videos as well.
Yes, absolutely. So aside from the upcoming album and all these new projects, can you share any other projects that you're currently working on?
No, but I can tell you two that just came out that I've been waiting to share forever. One is this project called Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, which is a video game, and I play this Elmo Barney type character. It's like if you dropped Barney into an epic video game. So if you play that game Like a Dragon, you got to go to Dondoko Island. It's a mini game inside, and you'll hear me as the red, or green, Elmo-y character. And then the other project that I'm finally
That's
able
great.
to talk about is called Grand Blue Relink, which is another big video game, and I'm a character named Magliel. I also have 3 characters on a Genshin Impact that's out, and the other thing, Grimsburg is now on Fox. I play the bully to Rachel Dratch's son. I mean, Rachel Dratch plays the son, and I play the bully that wants to beat her up. The other projects, you're not allowed to talk about too much or
Right.
at all.
NDAs.
Yes,
NDAs.
exactly.
Yes.
But there's a lot of stuff in the works. Man, it's all go all the time over here.
Yes. Sure is. So, as we're about to wrap up, the last question that Matt's about to ask, here's the question we ask all of our guests at the end. Go ahead, Matt.
And we get to ask it to you again.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Just for a second chance, you want to answer a different way this
In
time.
case you have a different kind of answer than the last time. So, of course, this podcast is called Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. When you think of nostalgia, what do you think of? Or in your own words, how do you define the word nostalgia?
Okay, nostalgia to me is happy. It is a while ago, probably maybe even a generation ago, at least 10, 15, 20 years ago, and something that brings you fond memories that not everybody's going to know about. You might have to do a little research to find out what these things are. Maybe your mom knows about it, maybe your dad knows about it. And it's usually, to me, it usually is some sort of media, like a song or a character or a cartoon show, or an item, like a record player, or roller skates with a key,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or a day timer where you write everything down with a pencil. So, yeah, nostalgia usually elicits a happy response of things in my life from a while ago.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's
Great
good.
words to end
That's good
on.
to hear.
Well,
All right,
Debbie,
guys,
thank
thank
you
you.
so much for
Thank you.
taking the time to come back and do this interview again to talk about your new album and more about voiceover and other things.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And thank you
it's always a pleasure.
again
Tell you guys
for subscribing to
again,
my YouTube
Debbie.
kids. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, definitely subscribe
course.
to her new to her kids channel, and
Yes.
when it comes out, purchase a copy of her new album, Gotta Go Green.
Yep,
Thanks,
available
guys.
on March
Yes,
the 6th.
so
Yes,
in-
her TikTok and everything else. Description down
Everything.
below.
keep in touch, Debbie. Of course, thank you for being a part of our lives. Cannot wait what's next in store for your voiceover and children's music career. So
Thank you.
yes, enjoy
Yes, it's
the
always
rest of your
fun
day,
talking to you
Debbie.
again, Debbie.
I'll let you know when this
Always
goes
a
up.
pleasure.
Of
Bye.
course.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. It's goodbye from us as well, everyone. We absolutely enjoyed our time having Debi Derryberry back on the show. If you'd like, you can check out our very first interview we recorded with her. That was fun too.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was
again,
down below as well.
Yep, that'll be in
yes.
the description below. It's
And-
episode 99 for those
and-
who would like to go back and watch.
And one more time, link to her kids' YouTube channel will be in the description down below, as well as links to purchase her Voiceover 101 book or her children's music, including the new Gotta Go Green album. But yes, and it's goodbye from Debbie, and it's goodbye from us as well. Keep on the lookout for more wonderful interviews coming your way. And as always, Jake, take us home.
Keep nostalgia alive. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
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 Hi there. My name's Matt Bingel. I'm one of the co-hosts and the editor for this episode. If you'd like to check out Debbie's brand new album, Gotta Go Green, it is available on all streaming platforms now. And if you'd like to check out music videos, check out her kids channel, Debi Derryberry Kids. Again, that's her kids channel, not her official channel. If you'd like to purchase a physical copy, please visit DebiDerryberry.com. Until next time, keep nostalgia alive. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show interview. Be sure to follow Jake and the crew on social media and stream the show wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And as always, remember to keep nostalgia alive. Bye-bye.